Hello. How is everyone today? I see we have a few people here. I know I'm a little bit early, but I'm sitting here at my desk and I thought, let's have a chat. Can everybody hear me okay? Let me know in the comments. So this is a class. I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different without a mod. And it's a class because I'm going to be teaching about a few art lessons each time, and we're going to make our journal first. So, and I'm going to have to repeat all that. Can anybody hear me? Oh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. I wasn't getting anything, and then all the chat came up at once. That's funny. I'm going to try to talk a little quieter because my camera is right at my forehead to get to my desk here, and I'm going to point down just a little bit there. How are you? I see. Hello, we have Karen and Sylvia and Sandy and Violet and Anne. How are you? We had such a busy day today. It was a great day. What a great hop we had. Everybody was fabulous. I know that I've been either on my phone or watching the hop at my desk all day because, you know, these Saturday hops are pretty special. Hi, Estella. Welcome. So I was saying this is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a class. And I know some people are new to art journals, and this is great for beginners. And it's just kind of a bite-sized lesson. The goal isn't to make something beautiful. The goal is to learn about art words and techniques as we go, as we fill up our pages. I actually threw one together real quick here and just using those prompts. And then I'm going to have you write the terms that you learned and the prompts on the back so you can apply them and you'll remember once you've done it once. I don't know if any of you know. Hi, Janet. Hi, Candy. Good to have you. Hello, PM Artist Studio. How are you? Great hop today. Really great. Hi, Tina. I missed you. I'm going to read. Oh, thank you, Anne. I really appreciate that. Candy's going to be popping in and listening because, oh, you're lurking. Okay. That's totally fine. I like a lurker. That's okay. So what I'll be doing without a mod in these classes is I will be showing you what it is, and then I'm going to give you time to do it with me. And when I'm complete each step, I will stop and read the chat if there's any questions. So this is just one I made as a tester to get started. And one thing you're going to want to do, did you all know to bring some cardstock or art paper of some sort, like some mixed media paper or watercolor, anything like that will do. You are going to want another sheet, a wax paper or a scrap of something to put in between, because look, I didn't do it. It's right there. But I'm going to show you a couple different ways to bind this so we can get our little mini art journal started. And if we fill these up, then we'll start another one. So we'll just, go step by step. And I've actually got 2 prompts today, or 3 prompts and 2 art terms to apply today. And I'm going to stop and read chat for just a minute. Yes, it was. It was good. Hi, Julie. You're not late. We haven't quite started yet, so you're just fine. Do you guys want me to talk about the way I mixed paint this week? I found a new brilliant way to do it. I can share that with you real quick also. yeah, that's blood right there. I'm pretty sure I stabbed myself right there. That's pretty bad. This one won't be a gift. How's that? Some DNA right there. I'm probably going to send out one of these little art journals made with mixed media paper in the drawing. So, I mean, I made several, and it will be one of the things in the package because I'm going to draw 2 names from everyone that leaves a comment on my videos, and those can be past videos as well from Texture Junkies, not from the old when I was in HPP. So all the Texture Junkie videos, just leave a comment. You'll be entered in a drawing, and I'll draw 2 names on Wednesday. I'm going to do it on Wednesday. Let me put these aside. And no one knew. Okay. All right. This will be good on replay too. We're going to do a stab binding. I think you all know how to do this sort of a binding. Raise your hand if you don't. I could show you real quick if you want me to. It's pretty simple. What I did was I took on this one, I took 2 pieces of mixed media paper, and I'll show you what kind. Let me grab that. It's the Art Street mixed media, and it's okay. I mean, it's thick. It's got a nice feel to it. All I did was go to my cutter. I cut off this edge right here. I folded it in half, lined it up, cut it again, and then those were folded to make this little bite-sized art journal. Sometimes an art journal is overwhelming with all that white space staring at you. So this gives you a way to not feel overwhelmed. That's why the size. So just, a few pieces of paper. You can do more, but you want them kind of small, And the stab binding, let's do one of those. So I've got some watercolor paper here. No one raised their hand about the, okay. And you want to talk about the paint real quick? We can do that. So the paint, I actually, let me pull this out. I'm calling this, I went to Mix for PM Artist Studios paint list on their website and realized that I didn't have some of the colors, and I got an art paint set from US Art Supply that have all the sort of burnt umbers and the true art colors, the true paint colors that you see. I mean, they have different names in craft paint, but there are some companies that send out the original, the names on the paint. So what I'm calling this is grayscale, and they're not all gray. So I mixed some large jars first. These are my large jars, and they are shades of black and white with the golden soft gel matte medium inside to loosen it up and make it a little more transparent. Some retarder, which I have the liquid, and it's golden, I believe. And then I added just a touch of black, because if when you mix paint and you're trying to darken it up a little bit, you put some black in there and suddenly all your paint's black. So this gave me some control over how dark, and I made these ones on the darker side so I could add more white and I can get all these great colors. So I just made a choice, like I want to add kind of a brown tone to that. I want to add sort of a, like tone it down, or give it an antique feel. So I ended up with all these great colors. They almost look like an Art Deco style, the shades that were popular back then. And I did a full rainbow, but I took each tube of paint. I decided which of the large pots I was going to mix it with. And then if I want to change these, I made them extra dark. I can add a little bit of white to them. So they've got all the things I want in there. I dingied them up. I made them look old and not so vibrant, I guess I want to say, by adding my grayscales to it. And the grayscales were one with a tint of blue, one with a, they all have the black and white, one with a tint of silver, one with a tint of umber. I wrote them all down. I'm making a little book. One with a tint of, this one was beige. and one with a tint of red, which made a pink, but it'll give a pink undertone to anything that I'm doing. And that is my grayscale mix. These are the cat hair. I don't have cat hair all over my house, but they're super attracted to these bottles. I don't know why. Oh, and I'm hoping that that made sense because, you know, I I tried. Crafty House Kitty Jen. It's nice to have you, Jen. Do you go by Jen? Oh, thank you, Violet. Yeah, I can't wait to use them also. I mean, they're great colors. I have a whole box of them here and I numbered them all. I wrote down exactly what I did. You know, if I wanted it a little more brown, I went on the opposite end of the color wheel to tone it down, you know, to make these colors. But I used those larger pots to begin with. So oh, Julie, you're fully here now. I see. That's funny. Okay, so I'm gonna put these away. And then we're gonna do a Japanese style stab binding. And I discovered I can do different kinds of Japanese stab bindings because I made a mistake. Let me show you this. I made a mistake when I went around and I ended up with, instead of going all the way across, it ended up doing that. So I continued what I was doing and I discovered that there were other ways to actually stitch that up. And a stab binding is going to leave this little border right here. So you bend it back and you want to get it bent, you know, before you use it. So it's easy. And we'll make one. I think I might need to cut all the papers in half here though, because if that's what we're going to do, give me a minute. Let me take care of these paints. No room. I'm out of room. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back and cut this with a blade real quick. See my dirty, dirty mat? I always work on something because I don't like looking at it. It is distracting to me. Do you guys find that? You need a clean thing to work on. Where is my blade? It's here somewhere. I want the big one. Oh, there it is. My husband brings me these from work. I'm pretty lucky. He brings me all kinds of weird goodies. So with a stab binding, you're going to want, instead of folded in half, you're going to want your sheets to be cut in half, cut to the page size. You can do this any size you want. Doesn't matter. I just, you know, small little bites. That's it. I paint under my nails. Sorry. I was messing with that earlier. All right. Am I on? Yeah, I know. I need a lazy Susan, don't I? Jen or Kitty Jen is fine. All right. You do, P doesn't unless it's a job blade. Put the paper under. Yeah, it's really distracting. So we'll do this first and then I'll show you what I have here and what supplies you might want. Who's doing this with me? That's what I want to know. I need a clip. Who is going to do this with me? My custom mixed paints for the grayscale that I'm mixed with the solid, with the true colors, they are in 4-ounce pots. And the smaller ones are in 2-ounce, no, 6 and 4, sorry. The larger ones are in 6 because those are the ones that I'm using to tint all the colors. So that's why they're larger. And it also has the, you know, all the goop in it. And the smaller ones are 4. And I am writing them down. I made notes for the whole thing, and I made a little stab binding book or a little stapled book to add them to. So hold on just a second. You're watching and paying close attention. That's funny. Who's done a stab binding? I would like to. Hello, Messy Palette. It's Diane, right? Do you mean making a mixed media book? Art journal. So it'll be art journal terms. So we're not trying to make it beautiful. It's for you to go back to, and you'll have your notes and you'll see what you did and how you applied it and learn those terms. And I'll have a different lesson planned each time. So, okay, so I'm going to take my ruler here. I clipped them together. It's only a couple sheets that's been cut. There's my ruler. And I'm just going to choose how wide I want the little area that I'm going to stitch around. Do you guys remember the blanket stitch? Because that's what this reminds me of. I want to kind of start with one here. So I'm not super bothered if it's not completely even. I just, kind of even's good. But if you're going to make it beautiful, you might want it even. So I'm going to go in 1/2 inch or 1 inch increments here, 1/2 inch increments, 1/2 inch. So I'm just making marks all the way down. See, and it's not even. I don't care. I don't like to measure things. It hurts my brain. I could make another little tiny mark up here, and now it looks more even. But that's up to you. Even it, don't even it. Whoops, I can't take off my clip yet. All right, so now we're going to take our awl, and we're going to go ahead and make all those holes. So we're going to stab it, and we're going to stab it good. That's right. Whip it and whip it good. All right. So I'll show you this stitch, and then you can play with it and see if there's another way that you'd like to see it, because I mean it's a really fun technique, and I've seen people do this and they put like a stick right here, or they add like some sort of fun element to it. I'm going to read real quick. Working on your envelope notebook, which is becoming a small journal I made. Several staff bindings. Have purchased art journals. Paying attention. Jen doesn't like to measure things either. I see that. Yeah, I mean, you could go in the middle and then work your way out, but I mean, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. This is really antique watercolor paper right here. And I might want to make sure my holes are big enough for my needle all the way through. Did you notice I had something on this one right here? Put a little strip of paper down before I stitched it and poked holes in it. So it created this sort of fun edge right here. Read a few comments. Hi, Lori. How you doing? Good to have you. What's this measuring thing you speak of? Yes, that's it. So I've got let me find a good needle for this. So I'm just going to use some wax thread. You can use anything you want. Whatever you use, that's fine. These make a good art journal, I think, because, you can get that like long, nice, I just like it. I like it for an art journal. It's good. You could do a really long page, like a pamphlet or horizontal style. I never know how much to get here. Where are my real scissors? Okay. So I pulled out about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 times the length of this right here. Rulers are for tearing paper. They sure are. Hi, Michelle. Happy to have you here. Am I missing anyone? No one likes to measure, do they? It's hard. I bet all of you that don't like to measure are also not real good at technology, because it's the part of our brain that we use the least. It's that technical sort of mathy. I'm an emotional artist. I do everything with passion and emotion, and I'm loud and burst into every room, and I can't help it. I try to change, but it's hard. Okay, so you're going to want to start at the end, obviously. And Go all the way down and then make it all the way back over right there. So what we're doing is we're creating a thread, a stitch on the end there. I should put these down. They're going to be in my way. And go ahead and tie that off. Whoops, I need to go under first. And I did that backwards. We're going to tie it off. Okay, so I'm going to go underneath there. You know, just like you would thread, you know, if you're sewing. This is wax thread, so one will do. All right, and then you're going to go in the next hole like that. And just like the blanket stitch, I want you to put that through. Bring it all the way up. You got to pull it good here. And then pull it down this way to get it nice and tight. And then you're going to do that again. Go through. Here. Through that loop again. And then pull it down this way to get it nice and tight, just like that. We're going to go through again. We're going to go through the loop. I have enough thread here. I shouldn't have left such a tail on the other end. Going to go through there. Am I going too fast? Hi, Lucy. How you doing? Go through the loop. I'm sure that there's a solution if I don't have enough thread. I like having to come up with solutions for things. It stretches my creative brain. It would only be because I left too much tail here. So go through. This is how you stab yourself right here. Pull that up. Come on. Go through the loop. Pull it tight. Is this making sense? Down there. Go through the loop if I can. Might have to tie another piece on. Might be a cool new look. I'm okay with that. Should I just do it? I'm just going to do it. I have some little pieces over here from earlier. Yeah, I'll do it right here. There's never a problem that can't be solved, especially with art. I mean, it's so you. It's you. It's whatever you do that makes you happy and your soul sing. No, 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 no. Guess I better go through first, huh? See? Stretching my brain here. If I wasn't here with you guys, I might have just cut that right off. Seriously. So do I go through here first? Let's go to the other end. That might be the way to go. It's hard to work from the bottom. Come on. And then we're going to, working from the bottom here. Go there. That had a knot in it, so it kind of tied itself. Go through there. Stay in place. And go through there. Look at that. Solving problems. Here we go. So it was a lesson in what not to do and how to add knots to your thread in fun places. Looks like a place for a charm to me. All right, there we go. And we'll make that knot. Like I said, there's many ways to do a stab binding. You might come up with something different. Who knows? Oh, there we go. Not bothered at all. And then we want to straighten all these up. There we have it. A difficult 6-thread, 9-knot stab binding. If you start with variegated thread and add ones, wouldn't be so apparent. Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I don't usually start with thread that's too short or leave a tail so long on the other end. Should we make another? Yeah, I usually grab a really long thread, but I did that earlier and I have this little pile of ends I cut off, so I was trying to be frugal about it. But that's okay. I don't mind at all. I'm not bothered. As we say, I don't hate that. Should we do one more and do it with longer thread? Or did everybody kind of get that blanket stitch effect? Remember, you're going to have a line on one side, and you can sew it from the other too, and just have the straight stitches on your side. All of it can be covered. It is an art journal, so I mean, it's a practice journal more than anything. So, and like I said, this is watercolor, so this will be 4 water-soluble mediums. That's why I'm doing mixed media paper here also for this lesson, so it doesn't really matter. We are going to, does anybody have their journal made up if anybody's doing this? Did I miss anything important in the chat? Any questions, anything like that? I do believe that we all need to solve something, a problem, an issue sometimes, and that's how I get my, the coolest things, the coolest results, because I was solving a problem. Like I didn't have something, or I want to make hinges out of painted fabric, or oh, your stab binding looks different. There are several styles you can use. And there's some really intricate designs where they like wrap it around twice. There's some that kind of look braided. They're just very cool. I think the traditional Japanese stab binding is just like a simple blanket stitch almost. But it's grown from there. So if you look it up on Pinterest, you get so many different styles of stab bindings. Okay, so in today's first lesson, I don't want you to make this pretty. What I'm suggesting is that you use the prompts and use the words that you've learned to make something. And what you're going to do is write it on the back. So right now, I'm going to write it on the back with this really gentle pencil. So our prompts are going to be using the words monochromatic tint and tone. So that's going to be part of the prompt, and we're going to talk about those. We're going to use some book text or text. We're going to use some circles and an optional focal point if you want. Using monochromatic colors. So monochromatic means one color. And tint and tone would be your black and white that tints or tones it into many colors. So you might have, I had a bunch of greens out here. It might be all the same sort of different shades of green. I put them away with the paint. There's one. Here we go. So that's monochromatic. Add the black and white. You can mix with other things and make them lighter, darker, but it's still one color. And tinting and toning is your black and white. So we're going to use the prompts monochromatically in one color, adding black and white where we want it, and using the other prompts with it. So, not worried about making it pretty. And then when you go back to this, you'll be able to see, oh, I didn't write monochromatic. And tint and tone, just like that. We could make a cover for these later too if we want, but it's more about the lesson, I think. So let's choose a color this time, shall we? Let's choose, since I have it out here, I'm going to choose turquoise. And I have several around me here. It's one of my favorite colors. Should we go with turquoise? Everybody good with that? Oh, I sound funny at double time? That's awesome. Yeah, Lucy, I have seen the butterfly stab bindings or the different sort of, oh, it's so funny. How many different styles of stab binding. You can hardly find the original when you look up on Pinterest because there's so many different types of stab binding. I'm sure I do sound funny at double time, Margie, because I talk fast already. So. Oh, you were making little origami booklets with your granddaughter all day yesterday. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. Turquoise is good. Yeah, it is. Okay, we'll use turquoise. Okay, I'm going to grab another. I bet I have more turquoise behind me because it's one of my favorite colors. I have that turquoise. Oh, I think that's good. That'll work. This one is a metallic turquoise. So all I'm going to do is use these colors in a way, and I'm just going to try to get swaths of color down, and I'm not good at embracing the white space. So I'm going to try to do that today. That would be a good thing. Let's find a little card here and a palette knife. We'll use some different things here. So first of all, I want to get, let's do this color. I want to get some of this down first. I'm going to go right on the front here with some color. By the way, these Lumiere Jacquard colors, these metallics are great. Little tiny bottles, but they're great. So all I'm going to do is do a bit of scraping here and there, just getting that color down. It's funny, I have dreams of painting in waves with like thick paint. Dreams. Ooh, okay, and let's see what we can do with it because we're doing one color. So let's do these sort of dendritic. What is it called, guys? I can't say it. Dendritic. Come on. You guys know this. It gets stuck on my tongue. All right, and let's continue with that theme. And we'll use some other colors here this is a water based. I just got 3 more of these, and that's something I'm going to play with soon. Maybe we'll do it in one of these where I play with all of them. They're pigments, and they're water based. But I want a palette. Let's grab a palette here so that I can squeeze some of this out. Should have prepped with a smaller palette from my bucket over there, but I'm not going to. Oh, all right. This is a nice color right here. It's pretty thick. Isn't that a nice color? That's Art Advantage. All right, so I'm going to scrape up my little, get it on a palette over here. Kind of just making a line. Because why not, right? You can do this as, fancy or whatever as you want. I'm just suggesting that you put the color down in a monochromatic way. That's all. And then we will use black and white as well. So I want this to dry, so I'm going to do this real quick. And let's talk about something else. I'm going to read dendritic. Did I say it right? I always want to put an extra syllable in there for some reason. Oh, Margalo, hey, I'm so glad you're here. Anybody else doing this? So we could sew up another little journal while we're waiting for that to dry, I guess. That would be all right. Maybe. I'm gonna grab some note cards because they're ready. So these are just white note cards. We'll go ahead and do another stab binding on this one because we can while that dries. So find a place, and these are, looks like they are 4 inches. So let's go with 2, 1, 3, and in the middle. Look, I did it even. I'm so proud of myself. It's quite the accomplishment. I need my clip. Here it is. All right. So making the holes. You probably don't need to use a pencil. You could probably, if you have it nice and clipped tight, you would probably just take the ruler and the awl at the same time and do it. I want to make sure all of these are big enough for my needle. This was the perfect recycling of this little board. I've been using this to poke holes for ages now. All right, we're going to leave that clip on there and get a longer thread this time. I could use a different kind. Wire would be great on this if you're making it into a pretty journal. That would be awesome. It would be a little fussy, but totally worth it. Get this back out. And we will go through this again for anybody that missed it. I think I need to go this way with it. There we go. All right, so through that top hole, I'm going to go around and make that knot. Sorry, I keep pulling it towards me here. That's how. I'd be interested to see everyone else's stab binding and how they like to do it, or ways that they've learned to do it. I just dragged that through the green paint. That's great. That would be really interesting. Tying it off. Make sure to go over under on that. This wax thread is very waxy. All right, I got it tied. I got a little tail. Now I'm going to go back here because my knot's on the other side. You have to work it out in your head there. Okay. Now the next hole. Doesn't really matter how. It's just, I think we're going to end up with the other one again. And this is how we make special stab bindings. I don't want to. I'm going to. Funny, funny. What did I do? Straightening that out. Can't believe I drug that through the green paint. You want to go this way. Did everybody watch the hop? I'm curious. Oh, I did that backwards. Boy, howdy. Uh-oh. I said I wanted a challenge. Green thread. This is a great way to practice all these stitches, to do these little just for you sort of things. And to come up with all the new ones. Love it on that green thread. There we have it. I'm stopping there. I know I got a stitch wonky there, but I don't care. All good practice. Should have connected that one and had like a 1, 2, 1, 2. That's okay. I don't care. Boy, that's funky. That was where I messed up right there. I'm okay with it though. Promise not to send this one to someone else. I will use it myself. All right. So monochromatic color, we're back to that. Now we need another one, I think. So we used the paint, we used the metallic. I'm going to read some comments here. Oh my goodness. All of this. So many comments. Yeah, Lucy, I hear you with the lying flat. That's why we're writing on the back and only using the one side for the lessons. And yeah, you can crease your paper before binding it. And I did that with 2 of them actually earlier today. And a spiral would be great, but not everybody has a cinch. So I really didn't want to show that in case anybody felt like they couldn't do it. Oh yeah, it would be great for gel prints. And you could, like you can use gel prints, like you can use a monochromatic color scheme on your gel plate and take this right to your plate as a bound book, either way. For anybody that's going to do this with me. I really, really liked the accordions. Patricia, are you really watching them again? That's awesome. That is so awesome. It was great, Diane. It was fantastic. Just reading a few comments here. Yeah, they were all really cool. I had a hard time getting through them all, and I finally did right before we did this. That's why I was making at the same time. And so, Sylvia, I used acrylic paint, spread it. Can I sprinkle it with glitter? Will it stick? It should. If it depends on your paint, probably. But yeah, sure. You guys know I used embossing powder on the gesso on the fabric to make it stick. It just stuck to the gesso. I didn't need glue for that. The medium was already dry underneath. Jen, the hop is Patricia and Mariah. They're here. It's PM Artist Studio. They host the hop. And what is it, our third one? Hey, PM, is it our third? It's our third one, right? Thank you. I like wonky. I'm good with wonky. Glitter. I got the coolest gift. Oh, thank you. I got the coolest gift from Candy here. She's lurking in the background. Oh, no, it's this one. I keep them up above. And it's a glitter vacuum. But, I mean, I had charcoal on my desk. But it just charges and it vacuums up everything. It is amazing. And it's a We Are Memory Keepers. It was the coolest Christmas gift. I've used it a lot. I've even used it on the tablecloth in the dining room. I mean, when I was making some things and I had some leftover bits on the table. I was doing some stuff with resin. Okay, now I'm getting down to the bottom of this. Allergies are better than sick, I think, Mariah, because you can handle that and then maybe she won't be sick anymore. That'd be good. allergies can be taken care of. I mean, it's a bad thing to have allergies. I do have allergies, but still, and can be handled. All right, so we are going to go with the next prompt. And remember, we wrote on the back, so we've got our monochromatic and different tints and tones of the monochromatic. Black and white aren't technically colors. So add black and white to this, and it, because they're the tint and the tone. And, you can go solid black or solid white. I've actually got some paint pens out here. I've got a marker, my Stabilo. I've got a couple paint brushes, the cards, of course. I'm just using whatever tool to make different marks. So now I have a circle. Or in a book text. Let me see here. Book text. I have these really old book pages here and I think it was a magazine from the 1800s. I actually have a whole bunch of it. My cousin sent me. Let me grab it right here. They've got pictures on the other sides, though. It's pretty tough to rip it up. And then these gorgeous letters. So I'm going to use, it's called the Chatterbox. That's what it is. I think it was like a newspaper magazine. It was already ripped up. It would have been hard for me to rip otherwise. But it says old spots in London town. So I'm going to just tear the edge off that, and I might use that because it's nice and aged and crinkly. Tear that off and make it a little bit smaller. And I'm thinking I'm going to go a little crooked on this one. And the reason I'm putting this down is because I'm going to then go on with some paint, and I want to get rid of some of that, or cover some of that even color right there. Maybe we should do a gel plate night where we do monochromatic colors on the gel plate. That would be really fun. So I'm going to do that crooked. And you could also use a stamp for this. I have one that says, "Don't try this at home." That would be kind of funny. It's text. The prompts are only to help you apply what you've learned about the monochromatic and the tone and tint. So next I want to use, I think I'm going to use some black paint and a lid. I have a lid out here. I could also do this since I have a little bit of this paint left. It's a baby food lid. Does anybody else like banana baby food? I go on baby food diets. My mom used to feed it to me as a snack when I was a kid, and for some reason it became acceptable. So I still eat baby food. No children in the house, just ordering baby food from Walmart, Okay, trying to embrace the white space. No, kitty, you can't come over here. She's like, she wants to be a part of this. She really does. Put a little black paint here. No, you got to get off my desk. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you guys. That was my silly cat. Sorry about that. She's got a bed above the desk because she gets so naughty. And where did I put that pencil I was using the other day? We want the square one. Is it over here? Just looking for something that has a cool end on it to make some marks. And I've got that square. It looks like a carpenter's pencil, but it's actually a Derwent. There it is. I'm going to use the end of this to make my black marks. So you can use anything. The end of a paintbrush is often used in my world because I like spots. So I'm just going to do that. The text just breaks up all that solid color. It's not necessary though. I have balance on one of the lesson plans too. So I won't talk about that today, but we will really work on that in depth. I don't know if any of you know this, and I'm about to release a secret too. But I did go to art school. The first time I was 13, 12 and a half. And I went to the art instruction school because I entered one of those contests that said draw me in the back of a magazine. And it's a school that Walt Disney founded. And they sent somebody to my house. And he flew out and he had like 2 briefcases and he opened one up and it was a screen and like a VHS screen because it was VHS back then. And it shared a video and it was Walt Disney talking. And because that school's been around for a long time, and I tend to collect those things from the back of old magazines that say draw me because of it. I've done some artwork with them. But they offered me a free scholarship for 1 year to see if it was something I could do in the mail. And I had a personal art teacher helping me with that, and they sent me all these supplies. And at the end of the 1 year, I moved back because I was living with my dad in Arizona that year. I moved back to my mom's, and my dad didn't want to continue paying for it, so I didn't go. So when I was 30, I got a divorce. Come on, kitty. Really? She just ran across my desk, you know. She doesn't like me telling stories, apparently. I think that's enough. Wait, maybe one right here. So then when I was 30, I got a divorce and I went back to school because I didn't finish high school. So I went back and then I went to art school. So um, I really have never worked as a art teacher. That's what I went to school for. I didn't finish. I had a thing happen in my life and I moved state and lost my scholarship because it didn't transfer out of state. And here we are. So right now I am taking an art therapy class to teach art therapy to add to what I have. And that's something I'm going to be offering in the very near future because I'm almost done with it. And this is the first time I'm telling you about it. So art therapy, I think we could all use a little therapy. And I know I need it right now. Things are hard, right? Yeah, that was the kitty. She's such a brat. Are you there, guys? Okay. um, anyway, that's enough about me, and I'll stop yammering on. But that's for anybody that doesn't know kind of what I do. I just kind of I'm very passionate about art, and I'm very emotional about it, and I love to share, and I hope that you'll share with me too. Really, it's in my heart to create this community where we all get to share, and I hope that you do this, and you get to share on my Facebook page. That'd be great, and in the group Happy Paper People that I share with Marianne. And yeah, I just started over. Anyway, okay, let's get back to it. Sorry about that. My rant. Now I think we need some white. I think because we want the black and white, we want the monochromatic color. And I think I'm going to make some circles inside my circles. And I'm going to not worry about how great these lines are. I want it to be really abstract. And then maybe I will make some other dots just where the color is darker, like here. Yeah, that was a very bad kitty. Darker color that's dry, please. This one's a little wet still. I'm making monochromatic shades of teal here with my wet paint. I'm going to do more right there. Larger ones. All right. I don't hate that. I'm okay. All right. Now, how about, let's see, we've got our circles. We've got our book text. We've got our monochromatic. I think it needs more black. What do you guys think? More black? Maybe some black lines. I think that would be good. What did I just do with that black pen? All right. So let's make some black lines. I want to go different direction. A little wet. No, I'm looking at it to see if it looks heavy or anywhere else. Maybe it needs a little bit more balance over here, which we will go into deeper at another time. And I like it. I think it's all right. Might need a little more of this though. Maybe a little more right here. Right here. Let go. Don't really want to cover up that. Whoops. Dendritic. I can't say it. I can't do it. Kind of do things in threes. So maybe you and you, or no, baby, you cannot go over my desk again. Stop it. I mean it. Maybe you want a focal point. So I pulled out some focal points, just thinking what would be the easiest way to make a focal point right here. And I have all these stickers I never use. And I pulled out the ones that have the colors I'm looking for. Like she's black and white. She would be great on there if you want such a thing. Look at her. She's perfect. I'm going to put her up to the side, but size does matter here. She's too small. Kitty, stop it. Go away from my desk. You brat. He's kind of cool. Look at him. What do we think of that? I'm going to put her or him up there. Really like her. I could make her a body one day. Too small. Let's see. This one's good. And oh, I really like this one. I think that's the one. That one or that one. Okay, you're going to vote. I mean, either one I like, but. Oh, that's wonderful. That's awesome. You did art therapy for years. Retired from that work and just teach to anyone now. Yeah, it is really rewarding. And it's good for me too while I'm doing it. I actually carried a beeper for domestic violence for a couple of years. So when you called the 1-800 number, I was the person you got on the days that I signed up. And that helped me because they helped me with something before that. And that was my therapy. It really was. Helping others is very, very helpful for your own soul. And I really like that. I am a softie and I'm very empathetic. And you know, my feelings get hurt, and but I don't really want to change that about me. And I like being in touch with others and helping others and who I am. So, all right, that's enough of that. No crying. No crying. um, the bust. You like the bust? Oh, yeah, Violet, we do need some art therapy. And this, you guys are hearing it for the first time. I've been secretly working on this since before Christmas. So, um, yeah. And it, this is a free thing. I'm not, I just want to share. That's all. And we'll all do it together. It'll be good for us. It will. Um, oh, thank you, Margalo. Thank you so much. You guys are great. It looks like we have a bot. So I am going to block that bot. There we go. Did anybody else see that? Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are, stop. There's no crying. No crying. That's right. The fairy is good. So we got a bust and we got a fairy. Which one? We need one more vote to break the tie. So here's the bust and here's the fairy. I don't use a lot of, I'm more likely to use something like this, but I really like her. And I've been trying to use these a little bit more and I like mixing something that's really intricate like this with an artistic or messy background. I think it's a good sort of opposite thing to happen, like it's like opposites. And that's a cool connection, I think. The bust, the fairy. The fairy, the fairy. Oh my gosh. We have three fairies and two busts. Oh, there's a fairy again. I'm so sorry for anybody that said bust, but the fairy wins. So let me see if I can peel her back. So I was sitting at my desk today watching the hop, getting paint all over my hands and tearing myself up and making a mess in general, and kind of lost track of time. And then let's talk about what we cover. It is hard to cover things that you love, moments that you see, maybe something that you painted, like some of the dots I did, or maybe some of these. It's very hard to make those choices to cover those, but those things get you to where you are. Even if you cover the whole thing, it was a process to get there, and it was very enjoyable and therapeutic. I'm going to do my favorite thing with this, if the paint is wet enough to let me. First of all, do we want some words? No, don't want it. I'm thinking because it doesn't really have to be pretty, just to show how you can apply what you've learned. That's all. Let's go with I did a thing. I have something to share. I can find it real quick here. Moved my thing around. I did a thing. I did another thing. I keep doing things. No, I'm looking for one of my water pens. Okay. This, I put walnut crystals in. I'm going to show you. And I think it was Lucy that told me about the walnut crystals. Because I went through a bottle of walnut ink spray really fast, and then I didn't realize that you could just buy these on Amazon. So I put these in water, really concentrated, in this water brush, so that it's like my Stabilo, but brown. I have a brown Stabilo, but it doesn't work as good. I can go around all the edges of what I'm doing and give it that antique-y feel, which is totally fine in a monochromatic color scheme, because if you age the whole thing, the whole thing can look, not like that's not aged enough, but it might not show up on the paint, but anything that does is a bonus. And then maybe some down here. Yeah, I like this in this water brush. You know what I didn't do again? And I wonder if I went through the other page, because I always forget to do this, so I don't make a mess. But it looks like I did okay. There's a little bit on the edge, but that's fine. I always forget. I'm out of wax paper right now, and I used to keep the wax paper on my desk to do that with, so I would remember. But I'm totally out now, so that's my problem. Okay, so here we have monochromatic, tint, and tone, and our prompts were book text, circles, and an optional focal point. And I love it. I think she's wonderful. And I'll decide later if she needs some words, but I'm not really trying to make her pretty. I'm just, applying what I know. So should we do another one? Same way? Let's put this back here. All right, we're going to pick a color again. I'm thinking orange. I'm thinking a crazy color that we wouldn't normally use. Hello, Lovely's Crafting Lodge. What's your name? Welcome. Amazon tonight. Are you going to go buy walnut crystals? They're pretty awesome. They're like, it's the walnut spray I use all the time. It's like a Stabilo or vintage photo colored. And that's probably how vintage photo is made. The ink, it's probably it's the original dye. What did I do with those? Just had them. There they are. And it's literally crystals. And I think this is going to last me. I go through a bottle of spray pretty quickly because I do a lot of crazy stuff. But you know what I'm going to do with this one? I'm going to pick a piece of monochromatic scrapbook paper, or not scrapbook paper, gel print paper for this one. And we're going to do the same thing, but differently, to show that it can all be done differently. So let me see here. I'm looking through my little bin for something. I did green already, so we're not doing green again. I want something that's like one color. Don't use pink. Sorry, guys. Wrong bin. What if I did use the orange? That's one color. All right, let's use that. This is one I think I sprayed, and it's packing paper, the kind that they wrap your orders in, crumple up. I save every piece. It takes forever to straighten them out. Bill thinks I'm crazy. They're all flattened out in a bag. Well, maybe 3 bags, but I think they're pretty wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. I've got this orange here, and it's also one of my new colors I'm actually going to use. And let's put some of that down. I wonder if I should put some water down first, because it's water soluble. I can move it around. Let's find out. I haven't played with these a lot yet. I've had the turquoise forever. Let's see if that's enough. Got a watercolor brush here. Just going to kind of put it in the pools. It's kind of interesting. You can put it in a palette of liquid, mix water with it, and end up with like a watercolor. It's very thick. Looks like nail polish, but it's not. A little bit more. Get a good splatter on this one, I think. I'm going to try. Can I? Maybe. I think that's good. All right, so we have orange. Now with this, I want to, because I would like to showcase that, I'm going to go ahead and do a diagonal tear here. Go like this. And then maybe some of this. That looks too heavy. Got to go this way. This. And that. The cat is like sitting above my desk watching me like a crazy, crazy critter. I like that. All right, so I'm going to glue those down. Come on, dry, 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 dry. That's the problem with the water. I'm trying not to break out my heat gun. So there's many ways that you can use these prompts, and that's all I'm sharing. Use scrapbook paper. I know a lot of you have scrapbook paper. You can apply all of this. Sorry, pin in my mouth. You can apply every bit of this to art journaling. And when we get done with the terms, we'll start some little mini art journals to go with it. Like that we want to make pretty, you know. You could always flip through your little book and look at the prompts and when you don't know what to do and use those prompts again in a new way. I think it would be really fun, you know, if I'm not on camera, I could go around my room and go red, 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 and pick out all of the things I have in the color that I've chosen in different mediums, mix them together, maybe some gel crayons, maybe some pastels, and come up with something in a monochromatic color scheme. Now I think, I wish I would have sprayed that first. That would have been fun too. Sorry about my arm. Now I think I'm going to use, I got to think about this for a second. Push that down. I think I'm going to use my text next. And then I'll go over it. No, I want marks first. I think we're going to go back to our lid or this mark making tool. Go like this. I really like this pencil. It came in a collection of goodies that I bought from an artist for sale. I didn't know what was in the box. And it's a Derwent drawing pencil, but it's brown ochre. And I did not know that they made them like this. I should, but I don't. I'm gonna have to glue that side down again. Okay, I like that. Still need my circles. Need that glue back. Missed a spot here. You can always gesso your pages first too. That would be good. Of course I didn't, and that's all right too. Now we want, do we want some sort of orange circle? Grab an orange paint. I got orange paint. I just made orange paint. These two. If they don't clash too much, I think this would be the one. Got an orange paint here. Gonna put a little bit out. Or I'll use the end of a paintbrush for dots. Something larger, please. Larger, larger, larger. Oh. I'm terrible. I'm just looking at the size here because size matters. The cat is really eyeballing me right now. She thinks I'm crazy. Trying to embrace the white space again. It doesn't really go with the other orange, and that's okay. I mean, the shades are weird together, but I'm all right with it. Maybe one right there. Yeah, gotta wipe this off. I keep a towel on each side of my chair. It's a rolling office chair. I keep a towel like around the arms on each side. So I have a towel on my arm every moment, no matter what. All right, so if we did that again, maybe now we use this, but I think it needs more. Oh, it needs the text, doesn't it? The book page. I got lots of those. Let me grab one. Thought I had some more of that other one on there. How about some main concordance of the Bible? It's a nice crinkly tissue. It's called the Exhaustive Main Concordance, and it's like somebody that compared everything, and you know, 3-4 inches thick, too many pages, cool leather. It's not super old. I mean, the pages are pretty white. Exhaustive. Just making a shape here. I think that'll work. I want to give this a once over with my, before I glue it down, I'm going to go over it with my, this real quick. Okay, I'm going to read some stuff here. Yeah, you could totally sketch in these books. That would be really fun to take a pencil out and do some drawing in some of the corners and stuff. You know, it's funny. I started with drawing. My stepmother was an artist, so she really encouraged me. And that was how I ended up entering that contest. But I started as a person that drew. And I don't hardly draw anymore since I found the emotional, passionate part of my artistic side. And that is a different style of art that uses a different part of your brain. And those are your tattoo artists, your architects. It's a mathematical art and not an emotional art. And people that measure and want to have everything even, they probably have their pictures hung even in their house. They probably have 2 candlesticks on their mantle. They probably like even numbers. And there are people that do both, but generally, if you're more mathematically artistic, you are an even and measured and methodical person. That sounded evil, like methodical. That's not what I meant, but you know. I try to leave space in journals for writing, but an art journal, I mean, that's something that, you know, you might do some asemic writing, you might do some writing around the edges, or, you know, but it's not really journal writing. It's more like poetry or phrases, or, I mean, of course you do it any way you want. That's how that works. Because it's yours. But look at me putting something in the middle. I never do that. It's a little wet. So maybe I should do a little writing on here. maybe that's exactly what it means. Wish it was dry. You could take a little more time and, you know, make sure your stuff is dry. I'm going to say I am an uneven and passionate soul. Always. I'm only adding words because I want more up this side. And it's not really meant to be read. It's meant for me to read. It's meant for part of the design, or, you know, your art journal is a personal thing. That's how I feel about art journals. Personal, very personal. So I think I'm going to put that guy in because we didn't use him last time. I wish this paint would dry. There's a lot of it. So I'm going to add him. Am I missing so much chat? I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, PM, you guys are the opposite. One of you is more technical and more even and methodical, and one of you is asymmetrical. That would be your mom. You looked up and saw one of your tall candles leaning over about 25% angle. Don't think you're right, brain. You see the big picture, the details, candles everywhere. I have candles everywhere. They're just in uneven numbers and they're in uneven heights. And, you know, yeah, that's it. So I'm going to put that right there in an uneven way. And then I want to put something here. And right there, I think I'm going to make some little marks. Where did my black one go? I want my black one. Okay, we have a white pen. We have a black marker. I don't want a marker. Tell me if you see it, guys. My black paint pen. I guess that's the universe telling me not to use it and use a Sharpie. That's fine. So I'm going to make some, like almost like making a frame around our piece of art here. I love using statues, by the way. Love using statues. I just ordered a bunch of Greek books so that I could have things, pictures of statues to cut out. I don't know why. I just really love them. I like doing sculpture too, but it's a more difficult thing to do if you don't have like a kiln or, I mean, I have some mediums I can do sculpture with, but it's just different, you know. I like doing pottery sculptures. How about some of this now? I'm going to extend that. The point is to just keep adding the love, you know, even it up, make it look balanced, keep adding until you feel like it's done. It's not done until the artist says it's done. You know what I want? Some of this. There it is. Look at that. I feel like it's done. I am an uneven and passionate soul always. And there it is. Yeah, I don't think I could do another thing to that and like it more. Hey, Toby, how you doing? I'm so glad you're all here. It makes me so happy that you're a part of this with me. I appreciate it. And I hope you all make an art journal that you can use the prompts in. I need to write the prompts on the back of that when it's dry. So don't forget to write your prompts in. Looks like we have another 30 minutes. I think we're going to do another one. So I'm going to have the first color up is the one I'm going to use. First color up. Thank you. Oh, Jen, I wish I could do a pottery sculpture, but I don't have a kiln. I don't have, I know there's people that do that. I'm not set up for that right now. Um, and I do more, I, I could do a sculpture with carving foam. I mean, there is sculpture foam. Um, I like subtraction sculpture where you start with a form and you're subtracting to it or from it rather than adding to it. Um, Sometimes they just, happen and I'm not looking, like they just fall out of my hands. And I have some really cool sculptures. One day I'll share them. Um, you know, I have a hand somewhere that I did and it's painted and it's got some paintings on the palm. And if I can find it, I want to use it in some photos. That would be cool. Do we have another, I need some toolies, aka bot smackers. Do I have another bot? I can take care of them. Let's see. How far up is it? Oh gosh. Oh, there it is. I found her. Why do they do that? What is that about? I don't understand. Okay. There we go. Thule, aka bot smackers. What is that? I need to know what this is. You should PM me about that. I have not carved soapstone. Not at all. Uh, we did several different kinds of sculpture. I took a sculpture class and we did several different kinds. But we used a lot of softer materials to do it, and I really did not appreciate the pine, um, the balsa sculpture was just not my favorite. I didn't like the carving, and it was just wasn't as fun for me. And I don't know why. It was a harder material, and clay was a little different. I used to sometimes do Donna Downey inspiration Wednesday prompts. I don't know who that is. I think that's wonderful. Um, oh, it's about pornography. Oh my gosh. Don't click on that, guys. No clicking. I got it though. A wrench holder. What? Okay. I'm just reading some comments. Oh, you don't have any of your pottery. Um, I'm a terrible. I hate getting rid of things I made. I hate it. It takes a long time for me to decide to sell a journal. It takes a long time for me to, unless I have that in my mind when I'm making it, I can't. I can't do it. I'm lately always saying I can't conform. I can't conform. I won't do it. Um. Anyway, all right. Let's do another one. But I'm going to grab the other book here because this is wet and I don't want to muck that up because I really like it. All right. So we're going to do this page and look at me doing the thing here. Woohoo. I'm going to write on the back what it is because we have another half an hour. We're going to go monochromatic. And I just pulled these things out of a hat, not the monochromatic and the tone and tint. It was, the way to use them today. And I'll do that again. So we'll learn a lesson and then we'll have some prompts to go with it. And then our prompts are text, circles, and an optional focal point. I think there's a lot you can do with this, though. It'll be fun. So, and that was the one I accidentally got that green on. So, did anybody throw out a color? I need a color, please. Should we do purple? I could grab some purple. Oh, wonderful, Diane. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for being part of this. Enjoy your shower. Sorry. Oh, okay. So let's do, is purple good, guys? Should we do purple? Should we do red? Pick a color, any color. Thinking purple. Okay. This time we're going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to grab a palette. Oh, I'm going to grab a palette that's got, let's see here. I'm going to grab a palette that's got some purple in it. Put this away. Grab my little tools here. Maybe my sponge. I'm going to grab a couple purples here behind me. Sorry. Oh, this is such a great purple. I've got this purple. Oh, I think I have enough purples. I don't need the watercolor. I will need my palette over here, though. Okay, so let's thinking, and I'm thinking. I'm going to put a few of these out so we have some different shades of purple. This is such a nice color. Art Advantage Light Blue Violet. Very pretty. I'm going to end up needing to, I'm going to have so much paint here. I'm going to have to do 9. And this one is Lilac Mist. You could use your, you can use your non-messy mediums as well. I just, doing paint. Feeling the paint, I guess. And this comes out really, really fast. And it's dioxazine purple. And it tends to overwhelm because it's such a good, strong, heavy pigmented color. That's Art Advantage. All right, so should we paint this time? Let's do a little bit of this and then a little bit of this over the top. So we have mostly this color out. So we're going to go ahead and I think that's good. I'm trying to leave a white border here. And then I'm going to use my palette knife. Do some scraping. Almost looks pink next to that, doesn't it? I'm not a pink girl, but lavender's okay. Could have used a stencil. I have a lot of great stencils from PM Artist Studio. Maybe I'll break one of those out for that dioxazine purple. Maybe one of the little border stencils that I love. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to grab a stencil. I think I'm going to do this one and hope that the paint's not too thin because I want to use the dark one. And this paint is so thin and heavily pigmented, I just don't want it to bleed through underneath. So I'm going to push that down tight and go for it. If it's messy, it doesn't matter. I can always line around it or cover it, or, you know, the thing about an art journal is you can do it again. You can start over. You can cover it with gesso and go again. No big deal. And then I'm going to do a couple down here. Such a pretty color. And one right there. 1.5 right there. Oh, it's so pretty. And there's so much wasted paint here. That's the other thing about having this paper laid down. I have a bunch folded up next to me that I pull out for different things, and some have embossing powder on them, some have paint. Some I've gel plated, so they've got like that square, and I try to use the same ones for the same thing or something. You know, I look for something similar, and I end up with some really cool paper to work with. So we'll leave it at that. I love this stencil, by the way. It kind of matches some of the other stencils that I use. It's kind of a similar shape, and they go together really well. I used it in the hop that you saw today. I'm gonna read some comments. Oh, bye, Michelle. Thank you so much. Oh, from the UK. Wow. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you again. Make a journal so that you can follow the prompts with us. That would be great. Red and purple are great, except if we go monochromatic, we need different shades of the same color. So, you know, maybe our focal point could be a red dot, or, but I'm trying to, you know, do things in the same shade. That's why I chose the stickers I chose, because they're like black and white or the same colors. And this time, you know, maybe I don't use a sticker. I don't know. I don't know what I'll use. Anyway, let's get to marking. I still really want my black pen. There's another white one. I probably have another black one in here. I don't know what happened to it. How about, let's see if we can do some mark making with these. So this is an opportunity to use some tools that you don't, you know, use all the time. Grab some, you know, run around your room and go purple, purple, purple. Grab them all. And then black and white, black and white. So circles are one of them. I do have some wet paint here, but I'm going through it. This is a wax pencil, a China marker. I'm going to go with another circle. And a third, because I can't do things in twos. Just like that. Put that one away. I'm going to find that later. It's going to be on the floor or something. My marker that I want. I don't think I'm going to use the white one this time. Now, let me see. I want that to be dry so I can, because I kind of want to trace around those. Which is why you could probably use metallics with this. I think it would be okay for the monochromatic. It would still feel that way. I don't know. So I'm tracing around these, giving it some kind of messy definition, if that's a thing. And I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to do a couple of them. This one's great. And they may get covered. They may not. They might be spectacular in the end. Who knows? It's all part of getting in the zone, having a Zen moment, and feeling it. It's good emotionally to get lost. Let me see. I think it will need something right here, but I have an idea. I think I'm going to take a piece of paper here. Needs the text. I'm going to do this. for my mock focal point, I'm going to be cutting this out. I'm going to stamp on here. I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to raise it up. So it kind of has some depth. Mine is shot. I love this stamp. Love this stamp. I bought this from a friend. We did kind of a trade this time, but I usually buy stuff from her. And I don't know where she gets it. All right. I got to show you something. This came in the mail today, and I didn't know it was going to be this big. Look at this stamp. This Baroque, awesome. Look at that star. It's pretty great. I love it. I can't wait to use it. I don't use a lot of stamps. I mean, I do and I don't. I don't use them for the traditional purpose. So let's cut this out. Stamped a couple times and used just a punch on it, but let me see here. I'm gonna go around this one. Glennis, are you out there? I don't think I saw Glennis. Glennis sits in Fussy Cuts, and I can imagine how relaxing that would be. I would be frustrated. She's probably more mathematical. She probably uses that side of her brain more. But, you know, sitting and doing something like knitting or, you know, making jewelry, making beads, or, you know, making little charms with beads. I think that's just really therapeutic for us. Just like this. So it depends on how your brain works. I'm going to have to add another little circle down here, and then that's going to go right there. But I need some text first. Text, text, text. Because we're following the same criteria and doing it differently. Just another one of those pages. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, there's a penguin. All right. I just want a little piece of this. I do want this one. Yeah, I'm not going to tear that. Meh. Just going to glue it down and go for it. Because that's how we do, right? You just go for it. I'm all about what ifs and why nots. So I hope that if nothing else, that you feel more empowered to be about the what ifs and why nots in your life and trying new things. That's always good for you. Okay, should I ink this? I should ink this. I feel like it needs a lot of definition. That's a sound that's good. Am I missing a lot of comments, guys? I'm so sorry. I hope that you're talking amongst yourselves. Oh, I want that rust powder so bad, Julie. I see that. Another gal on in one of my other groups, Meg's Wood, Meg's Woodcock. She uses a lot of rust powder lately because she got some, and I went and looked it up, and I think there's a couple places online that sell it. I just haven't ordered it yet. I really like it, but it's probably got walnut crystals in it, and like some orange and red mica powder. That's what I'm thinking. I actually, instead of ordering that, I was crazy and ordered these things because I haven't played with them yet, but I will. These are colors. These are the true, you know, this is yellow iron oxide red iron oxide, you know, like from rust. There's a white, and then the green, I can't remember. Oh, it's on the back. This is the hydrated chromium green oxide powder, titanium dioxide. And I think this is what might be in the Tim Holtz oxide inks. I think that white is something that's found in there. But I'm going to play with those. And she gave me I got those on Etsy, and she gave me kind of a group price on them because, you know, I might order more. So, okay. So we've got this. This needs something, I think. This needs right here. Let's go with a watercolor. If I can hydrate this fast enough. See, I've got my these are gouache. But if you put enough water in there, they become more transparent. We'll see how bad this color is. I'm going to add a little. I like it. All right. That's fine. All right. White vinegar. What you need is white vinegar to spray on it. What does white vinegar do? I don't know. Yeah, Julie, to some people, odd numbers do look more complete. To others, even numbers. My husband is an even person. He doesn't understand the unevenness of things, but he just rolls with it because he knows better. Oh, I found it. It's in my little thread cup. But I don't understand the evenness. It disturbs me. Like if I walk into a hotel and they have like the lobby with the fireplace and whoever put their stuff out made it even, I want to go up and like put those two candle holders together on one side. Or it's just you know, it's just how I am. I'm going to put some text around this as well, or over it here in some spots. That was a great way to use. I mean, they're all different. So they all have a different feel. They all have different techniques, but they all are monochromatic, have text, and have circles. So that was fun. Maybe just a little bit of white, some sort of curvy lines. This is like coloring. Gives you that satisfaction. Come on. I think I need to order some more of these. Well, I guess I'm not using that anymore. A whiteout pen works really good for this. But you have to seal it. It'll come off. It'll fade. Not a problem. Come on. It's almost there. I've barely used these too, and they bug me. The black ones work fine. It's the white ones that are the problem. And there's the black one. Let's see here. Making that a large circle. Mistakes are opportunities. And one more spot because you got to go in threes. All right. I'm really happy with that. I'm happy with how it came out, the different mediums that I used, the different shades of purple, even if that one is a little pink. I'm pretty happy with it. And it was fun. Let's see if I have something I can use. Got the old man. Got the little, oh, that's nice. That's almost wasteful right there. Get this dude. What do you guys think? Is there one? Here, those ones I pulled out for the green. I'm sure I have a purple in here somewhere. Something with purple tones. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's a statue with some purpley tones. Yeah, grouped things. I'm a grouper. According to most art teachers, odd numbers are more pleasing to the eye, and that's true, unless you are a mathematical artist. Absolutely. Starting to smell like rust. Hey, there's another bot. Bot. Julie, I need to figure out how to make you admin so that you can pay attention to that for us, and we can block them as they come in. Oh, good night, Sandy. Thank you so much. And Sandy, I hope that you make a little art journal or use one that's already made and try the prompts today, or this week or whenever, and share them. That would be awesome. Really, I'd love to see how you do this small little project lesson. Oh, that's so good. Thank you. All right, what time is it anyway? I think we're assigning 2 hours for each of these, so that gives us plenty of time to learn something. Repetition is a good way to learn that, just like with anything. But this is fun learning. So, do we like this one? Or do we want something with a little more contrast? I like that has the purple. I feel like it's a little small, but, maybe we go crazy here. Maybe we do something opposite-y. Or there's another one of these. I'm just using stickers because I always forget. And they're here. Oh, here we go. Look at her. She's pretty. She looks like she's coming up out of it. How do we feel about that one? So we've got this one or this one. This one I wish I had like 10 of because I can think of different ways to use her, like coming up out of a pocket. But that also gives me another idea. I'm totally inspired right now. I can use some of the images like this that I have in those books and put them coming up out of pockets, like permanently. That would be fun. I love it when I get new sparks of ideas. So the standing one makes the thing of Vanna White feels like the Wheel of Vanna White feels like the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That is hilarious. Do we like that then? She is kind of, maybe I need to put some letters out here. Oh, that's totally what we're doing. That is what we're doing. I like a little humor, some snark, some fun. Okay, let's do that. And maybe we'll go around her. We only have a few minutes left, but I'm going to wrap this up real quick because it's almost done. If it doesn't take me 5 minutes to get the back off this sticker, I mean. Come on. There we go. It is Vanna White. Look at that. That's hilarious. I'll just use my pen here. What word should we use? I need like something with uneven, like 3 letters or one, O-N-E. How do we feel about that? O-N-E. The zone. I could do letters on both sides. How about the zone? Do we like that? Art. Art is good. I know. Okay, so we're going to go A, R, T. It's like the Twilight Zone, but it's the art zone. I'm even going to do this. I could have put a square around each one, but, you know, way too literal. Take up too much space, too. Art zone. How's that? She needs some shading around her, I think. If I can get it to work on the paint. So I'm going to use this, give her a little shadow. And maybe, you know what, Stabilo. Going for the Stabilo. The Stabilo does everything. I'm going to need to order a new one soon. Mine is getting pretty short. I'm starting to lose it in my pot. And that's what's happened here. Come on, I had you out. If I quit turning it, there it is. Needs sharpened. Look at that. It's, I feel like it's got very little life left in it. We'll finish this up before we quit so you can see the completed project. Just doing a little shading here. Probably should have put some glue behind her. And then I'm going to give her something to stand on. And a little water brush, and we are good. Where is that one? We're just going to use the watercolor brush. So I'm going to go around. It's going to dry a little later. Always does. I love my Stabilo. Her little shadow. Yeah, and that's strong. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Take some of this from over there and put it here. And since I did that, I might want to add some of this sort of gray color here and there around. Look at me not embracing the white space and stuff. Just, you know, balancing it out. Needs it right here. There we go. We're in the art zone. There it is. Charcoals are good. I actually have some sitting right here, and it's very messy. It's a messy thing, and I already do a lot of messy stuff. I mean, my hands are bad enough. So I don't really do that on camera. I should just do charcoal one day. That would be fun. It's a nice messy medium, but only if I don't have all this other stuff out. You guys are great. As long as you don't have to guess the word. Stabilo does work on everything, and I love my Stabilo. I have a brown one. It's just not as, it just doesn't work the same. The formula is not the same. I have, you know, a lot of water soluble charcoals and that sort of stuff too. I mean, I have so much charcoal. But I like the Stabilo because I have a finer point on it than I would a charcoal. And it's just, it works on everything. I love it. Thank you so much. I hope that you guys did learn something and, you know, I know, Lucy, this is not new to you, I know, and PM, not new to you, but new to some, and it's easier to start an art journal if it's not so overwhelming. So I hope you guys do this and you do the project. That would be really fun. You guys have a great night. I'll take a picture of this right here and leave it in the group and on my Facebook page, and I hope to see you all soon. And I hope you have a magical day. Thanks for coming. Bye, guys.